Hey, I am Rachel, the destined one. So listen today. How do you know that you're on a divine love journey, that you're on a twin flame journey, that you're on a journey to your highest self? And also the twin flame journey is a journey to the highest level of love. So listen, when you meet your divine counterpart, first of all, you're not gonna know right away. You're not gonna know right away what's going on, what's happening. You're not gonna understand. But the activation of the twin flame journey is the activation of the eyes. So listen, when I met my person, at first, the first day, I didn't know. I had to go back to my person the second day for something. Didn't know who they were. Didn't know why I felt this urgency or this need to get things done. It makes you in a place of urgency to get things done, to work on things, to become your best self. And how you know is, like I said, the activation of the eyes. I looked at my person's eyes. My person looked in my eyes, and it was not purposely. It was divine. And like I said before, we went into this whole beautiful world for just like a couple of seconds. And ever since then, I've changed. My life has changed. My life has changed where I know I'm on a divine mission. At first, I was just like, I'm just in the church. I'm just trying to do what I'm called and chosen to do, but not knowing that I'm truly on a divine mission. And I didn't know how big, that this divine mission was until I met my divine counterpart. And so another way is to know is you're going to start being prompted to look into numerology. You start prompting to learn about astrology. You're going to want to learn more about things spiritual. You're going to leave all that religious stuff is gone. It's gone because when you meet your person, this is like something that you've never seen before, something that you've never experienced before. And a lot of times your divine counterpart will already be in a relationship. A lot of times your divine counterpart will run from you, especially if you're the divine feminine. You're just like, oh my God, I'm in love. And at first you don't know you're in love. You just feel all these feelings and these emotions that you never felt. And then you understand, if you had any type of relationship with anyone, even if you have children, a family, you understand that you've never been in true love. And true love with your divine counterpart, you love them from the very first day that you meet them. You don't know why. You just know you're feeling deeply for this person. You just know that you want to be close to them. You want to be close to them. Because I kept going where my divine counterpart was just because I wanted to be close to them. I didn't know what I was feeling. I had never felt the things that I was feeling. And then when I realized I was in love, I was like, oh my God. And like even now, this is over a year later. I'm a driver, so I'm in the car like by myself, like, oh my gosh, I'm really in love with somebody. I really love somebody. I'm 42 years old. I've never been in love with somebody. And even though your person a lot of times will choose to stay in the situation that they're in, if they're in a marriage, they'll decide to stay in the marriage. But they'll still try to peek their head in because they know that you're their divine counterpart. And if they didn't know at first, they know now because I get the signs, I get the synchronicities. I see this person's name probably 50 times to 100 times a day. And at first that was creeping me out, that was freaking me out. I feel my person like they're with me deeply. It's something that has never happened to me. I never had a spiritual connection to anyone like this. And then even when I get so mad at my person, I can't stay mad long because I just love my person. But that does not mean I just go back and allow things to just be what it is, you know. And it also, on this divine journey, a lot of it is for us to learn how to grow. We're growing actually into our best and most beautiful self because I've done things that I've never done. And I've gotten more bolder in my life with just kind of just walking in faith. Walking in faith about everything. Walking in faith about everything. Trusting God about everything. You know, and it's all to turn you back to your God self, to your most powerful self. And on the twin flame journey, when you say masculine and feminine, masculine and feminine is the energy. Masculine and feminine is not male and female energy. It's the energy that your divine counterpart embodies most. So a divine masculine on the twin flame journey could be a female. A divine feminine on the twin flame journey can be a male. It's the energy that they carry. And a lot of times, guess what? What we call, well, what we used to call, for me, as normal, nothing's normal in your life anymore. You're going to have so many dreams about this person. And a lot of times you're going to feel them. A lot of times you're going to know when they're going to run away from you. A lot of times you're going to know when they're going to call you. A lot of times one day my heart started to ache so bad because my person was missing me so bad and just going through stuff. But they won't. My person has a big ego and they're very stubborn. And they don't understand it and they don't want to be disloyal to the person that they're with. And I can understand that. I respect that. But when you're on a spiritual love journey, all that other stuff, it goes out the window because, like I said before, your divine counterpart is your spouse. And a lot of times, at first, we don't understand it. I didn't understand that because I kept asking God. I said, God, am I crazy? What's wrong with me? Why do I love this person so much? And why come I can't even get their energy off me? My person's energy is with me every day. And I feel it so deeply. And some days when they're going through stuff, I can feel it. When they're going through stuff, I can really feel it. When they're going to run away from me, I can feel it. And now, I used to be so sad. But now I understand that it's a spiritual journey. And I understand that they're trying to understand and navigate through emotions they've never felt. I'm trying to understand and navigate through emotions that I never felt. But then it gets really hard because God said this was my person. So like 3 or 4 days ago, this man asked me out on a date. He was like, "You're so beautiful." I'm just in the Dollar Tree chilling, y'all. And he's like, I seen you in the Dollar Tree. I waited till you came out. I was afraid, kind of afraid, but you're so beautiful. And I would really like to take you on a date. Anywhere you want to go. And I told you guys that to say this. Now, this is hard because when your divine counterpart has somebody else and they decide to stay there and people start to ask you out on a date, people start to be interested in you romantically, because this is happening to me a lot now and it's weird and strange for me. Y'all was blushing because I was like, huh? And it was a handsome man. But in my heart, it was like, nah, no, I know who my person is. And even though my person has ran and basically rejected me, and I'm not tripping off any rejection wounds because at first I was wounded. But now that I understand, this is a spiritual journey, which it's supposed to come together in the physical, because you and your divine counterpart are supposed to be together. You guys are supposed to do things here together, and you guys will be a beautiful power couple the way that it's intended for you to be. God don't say this is your person just for it not to be your person, just for them to go be with somebody else. But they can choose that, because a lot of times you may not look like what they want you to look like. You may not have what they want you to have. You may not be what they thought their specific person would be. So then they'll stay where they're at, because where they're at, that's who they wanted their person to be. They wanted that person to be. But a lot of times when they stand in these places in the 3D, they're trying to make things be the way they want it to be. And a lot of them in these 3D relationships, they're going through hell because that's not their person. And they're going through hell because you're trying to make something be because this is the way you want it to look. And God sent you a beautiful divine counterpart. But because they don't look and they don't have the things you want, you're like, I don't want that. I'm going to stay where I'm at. And even though they do want you, but they don't want you. Because no one makes them feel as deeply as you make them feel. No one has love for them like you have love for them. And they don't have love for anybody else. Even though they'll lay beside somebody else at nighttime, they don't have that love for that person that they have for you, because your love is a divine love. And so for the divine feminine, now that I'm learning all of this, it's hard for us to navigate when people start to ask us on dates, when people start to be romantically interested, because like I'm in a personal year 3, and personal year 3 in numerology, it said you're going to have suitors, you're going to have people that are interested in you, interested in you, and you're going to go to different levels of consciousness. And so exactly what numerology said for me is what has happened this year. And this year is almost over, but it's exactly what has happened this year. I have people interested in me. I've gone to different levels in consciousness. And all of this goes with your twin flame journey. I've never even known about numerology. I never even really got deep into astrology, but all this goes along with you being activated onto your twin flame journey. I never done the things that I did last year. The things that I would have never done it. And they call it twin flame because you guys light a fire in each other. You guys trigger each other. You guys push each other to be and grow better. And you guys push each other to be authentic. Like when my person is not being authentic with me, I know it. And a lot of times they're not. But when they are, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. But most of the time they got to keep this mask on because they're not understanding. You're not going anywhere. You see past the mask. You see their wounds. You see their, you see their heart's desires. You see the things that they don't like. And sometimes the mask falls. And as soon as the mask falls, my divine counterpart has to quickly put the mask back on their face because they're like, I don't want nobody to know me this deeply. And whether they know it or not, whether they understand it or not on a spiritual journey, we already know you deeply. We already know you deeply. And we are the other half of each other's soul. So this twin flame journey, it does not just go away. A lot of the twin flames they're getting bitter, they're getting upset. They're upset with their divine counterparts because it's taken so long, because their divine counterpart keeps abandoning them. But for me, I just look at it now, hey, I just have to keep going to my highest timeline with or without my divine counterpart. And I know if my person does not come up to their end of the contract, I know that there's somebody for me. There is somebody for me because I'm not just going to be by myself. And even if I am, I'm content with that. I'm content with that because these 4 years in being celibate and being abstinent has been beautiful. You don't have to have all the mess that goes along with being in a relationship and caring about other people's feelings and talking about different things. I'm okay. I'm all right. And the only person that I ever loved is my divine counterpart. And I'm okay with that too. Because if they decide to stay where they at, that's their business. That is their business. I wish them all the beautiful luck in the world. And guess what? I don't even understand the whole journey yet, because you can't just walk away from somebody who is energetically with you all the time. They're talking about doing this and doing that to break it off for you. You can do whatever you want, but this is a divine journey that is not meant to be broken. Yes, you go on with your life. You live your life. Like the guy asked me on the date. So I should go ahead and go on the date. Right? I should go ahead and go on the date and enjoy myself and get to know somebody. And my divine counterpart is living their life. You know, and I feel what is for me is for me, and what is for them is for them. And you'll know if this is truly a divine union, because it's always coming back together. And if it really comes together and they decide, I don't want to live without my divine counterpart. I don't want to pretend like I don't love them anymore. I don't want to pretend like they're not the other half of my soul. And even when that does come together for some twin flames, because a lot of them don't understand this is one of the most powerful things that I've ever experienced. To love somebody so deeply that even when they're not with you, you're seeking God for them, you're praying for them, you're fasting for them. And yes, you long for them sometimes. Sometimes I really long for my person. I really just want to sit there and just be with them, just talk to them. Just be up under them while they're working, because they work all the time, and just love them. But that's their choice to be where they're at. That's their choice, and I want them to be happy in whatever their decision is. I don't want to mess with anybody's anything at any time. You know, even though sometimes you may feel like come here, like you know who I am. And that's what it feels like sometimes. Come here, you know who I am. Like, why are you running? Because you can run all you want to, but in the spiritual realm, this is already what it is, you know. And that's another thing too that you learn when you're activated onto your twin flame journey. You learn that reincarnation is real. You learn that you have lived so many lifetimes with this person, because I didn't understand it first. And I heard God say, you have lived many lifetimes with this person. This is your person. And that freaks you out. Because now you're on a powerful spiritual journey. Like, I've seen spiritual things. I've seen miracles happen. But I've never been through anything like this. And my person, to me, is the most beautiful creature in the whole world. Most beautiful creature in the whole world. And then it's so strange, like, okay, so one day my person came to where we were supposed to meet up late, and their scent, it was like it encapsulated me. It like took over me, and it was I still put my hand on my face now, like, oh my God, like, what is going on? This is freaky. This is weird. I felt like somebody had put a spell on me. But no, this is new earth stuff, and this is crazy. When you guys kept hearing all those people on TikTok and YouTube saying, oh, your kingdom spouse is coming. I kept hearing that in 2023, and I was like, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't care about that. I'm cool the way I am. Then here comes, first of all, I went on that fast I told you guys. Cleaned out one half of my closet because God told me my person was coming, right? That was 2023 February, right? Kept hearing, your kingdom spouse is coming, your kingdom spouse is coming. So then, here comes 2024. February. And then, guys, it's so crazy. Another sign that it was my divine counterpart. So I met this person on the February 13th. I had to meet up with them again on the 14th. Okay? Never met this person before in my life, in this life. February the 14th, Valentine's Day, portal. That's when the activation started. And you guys tell me it's not just a coincidence, because it's not. God is just giving me all these downloads, and God started giving me dreams about this person. And then God even showed me that the person that they're with was going to keep blocking me from them, or keep blocking them from me, or keep like this demonic hold on them, which is the person that they're with has a demonic hold on them. And they act like they can't see it, but they know it. It's strange. It's strange. This is strange because I would never be on camera talking about anything like this, because I never knew about anything like this. And, you know, these are the ways that you know that you're on a twin flame journey. All this stuff will happen. And then I kept asking God, because I was like, this is some demonic stuff. I thought it was demonic. I said, this is demonic. This is demon stuff. What is this? But ever since the first day I met them, I loved them. Ever since I seen them, I don't have eyes for anyone else. My heart don't beat for anybody else. Like, my heart literally skipped a beat for this person. Skipped a freaking beat, and I had never felt that. It was like, I thought it was a joke. It was like, I don't know, it was crazy. But that's how you'll know that you're on your twin flame journey. And all that 3D stuff, even the people they're with, that stuff is not, it don't matter. There's a creator on TikTok that keep trying to shut her down for her spiritual knowledge, but she said these people are married because of they want financial stability, but your spiritual spouse is your true spouse, the person that you're married to spiritually. So me and my person are married spiritually already. That's another reason you can't even stay away from the person. You want to, because you're like, I ain't trying to be bothered with that. This is too much. But it's a spiritual journey. It's a spiritual journey, and it's a scary journey, because it's like you'll think you're crazy at first because of everything that you go through on this twin flame, divine union, divine journey. And it changes you so much. It changed me. I'm more myself. I walk more in my power, and I know, because the year before I met my person, God told me there's no limits on your life. And I know that I'm going to keep growing, even if my person just decides to disappear or whatever, because they're afraid of the journey. And then my person also too don't want to be seen. They don't want to be truly seen for who they truly are. They don't want to drop the mask and just be free, because they feel like they got to look a certain way, walk a certain way, talk a certain way. They got to have all this money. They got to do this. They got to do that. And so my person might not ever come around to the journey. They know it, because I told y'all I want to be like, man, just come here. Like, you know who I am. I want to be like, just come here. You know exactly who I am. But I won't say anything. I just leave it alone. You know, when they want to come peeking in, I say, hey, I talk to them. When they want to go run away, I let them run away. But this is one of the most, it's a beautiful journey. And it's a crazy journey, and it's a scary journey, because you never knew that anyone would love you like this or see you how they see you. Because I know how my person sees me, and I know how I see my person. Even if my person act crazy or run away, I see them as the best thing since sliced bread. And I don't know why. I've seen some of the darkest parts of them spiritually and still love them. That's unconditional love. That's agape love. That's that God love. And I never knew this crap existed. I never knew it existed. But these are the ways that you're going to know. Because, like, one day I hadn't talked to my person, and I missed their call. Didn't know I missed their call. God placed their name right over my heart. And I said, whoa, this is wild. This is wild. And so just, you know, guess what? The divine masculine feels just as deeply as you do. They don't know how to deal with that. But divine feminine is like, hey, I love you. Come here. You're mine. But, you know, it doesn't go that easy. For some people, it do. Like I said, there are so many people that have been activated onto that twin flame divine counterpart journey. They left the people they're with, and they're like, listen, I'm sorry. You're not my person. I found my person. I don't want to waste your time. and they were gone. And a lot of them on their spiritual journey left their spouses because they're like, you're just not a part of my journey anymore. And they didn't want to play with people, and they didn't want to hurt people. And now these people are millionaires because they're walking in their authenticity. They're walking down their divine path. And a lot of it didn't have nothing to do with Twin Flame. They just was awakened to their power. And sometimes you're awakened because you have things to do. But if you allow yourself to stay in a situation where a person who is not on the same level as you, because you want to have that relationship with that person, you're missing out. You're missing out on so many beautiful things that God has for you. But if that's what you decide to do, that's your business. But for those of us that are leaving anything behind that so heavily weighs us down, we're about to walk into the best season of our life. And I can feel it. I can feel it. My life has changed so much in a year. I can feel it. And the way that my life is about to change even more because of the divine journey I'm on, it's beautiful. I'm able to breathe now because I'm in such a place of freedom. I'm in such a beautiful place, and even if, I never come into divine union with my divine counterpart, I am grateful to meet them. And I say, go forth in the journey that you decide to go on. Because, like, when I met my person, I didn't know they would be a part of my life. I'm just passing through. And anybody else would have walked out of my life, I don't care. I really don't care. And I think that's that Gemini in me. I care for a second, then it's like life goes on. Life goes on, life goes on. Even my divine counterpart, life goes on. If they're happy, if they claim to be happy, who am I? Who am I to say that they're not? But the thing about being a divine being, you know what it is. You know what it is. You see what it is. You get the dreams. You get the visions. And it's a very real thing. So listen, those are some of the signs that you know. It's the eye activation. It's that you're going to see their name every day, all freaking day. It's that you're going to start to grow and want to be better than you've ever been before. You're going to feel love so deeply that you cannot explain it. If you have children, you love your children, of course. But this is a deeper form of love. It's so beautiful. These spiders are attacking me out here. A deeper form of love is so beautiful. So freaking beautiful. And who don't want love like that? But that type of love triggers you. We both trigger each other. We both run away from each other. We both get upset with each other. Maybe something that we've said or done or something. And that's a part of the journey too. But we always come back together. Even if it's for a week. Even if it's for a couple of days. Because when you're on a divine journey, you guys have a frequency that you have to hold together. And if you guys cannot hold that frequency, if you're not in the frequency of authenticity on both ends, whatever y'all been talking about, whenever y'all been talking for the couple of days or the couple of weeks, it's not going to hold because somebody's not being authentic to the journey and to the path and to each other. You have to be authentic. Authenticity is the most beautiful frequency. It's a frequency with that. And my person will be a little authentic and then just run away, but I'm always authentic. I've been authentic since the beginning. I don't know no other way to be. And I don't care. The thing about me is, once I met my person, I don't care what people think. I don't care what nobody thinks. Like, that's my person. And God gave me this person. I asked God. I prayed so much because I said, this can't be right. I prayed so much about it. I kept asking God. And God gave me one night, Hosea and Gomer. And I did a video off it. Hosea had to go get Gomer, even though she been with everybody. Even though she had abandoned him and the family over and over again, God said, go get her and love her like she has never left you. And when I woke up, I was about to cry because I was like, oh my gosh, this is my person. But be encouraged if you are on this divine journey in any capacity, because when you're a divine being, it's not for the weak or the faint at heart, and it's not going to be easy to see your person that God told you this is your person, and God told them that's your person. You're each other's person, but when they go decide to live and be with somebody else, that's one of the hardest things that you're ever going to deal with, and it hurts so deeply. And even though they've been with that person before they met you in this lifetime, it hurts because it's like, you're my person. God told me you're my person. I don't want you to be with anybody else. I don't want to see you with anybody else. These bugs are attacking me out here at this lake. I don't want to hear you talk about anybody else. You're my person. But this is a spiritual journey that cannot be explained a lot of times, because if you've never been through this, you don't know what I'm talking about. If you never felt this, you don't know what I'm feeling. And so, like I said, reincarnation is real because my person and I have lived many lifetimes together. And that's another thing I told you guys. I realized that God said that to me. But we weren't able to hold our frequency. We weren't able to get it together like even now. So maybe another lifetime. Maybe another freaking lifetime. But I don't want to go through this again. I hope and pray that this is the last lifetime that I go through that. If not, if God put me in another lifetime, I don't want no twin flame. I don't want no divine counterpart. I may be okay just by myself because it's so stressful. It's stressful sometimes. And I know it shouldn't be, but it is. Just to know you have a person out here that you've waited for your whole life. And then there's a song that says, I've searched for you in a million people and no one is you. No one is you. No one is my person. But you got to keep living your life here in the 3D because this is more spiritual than physical. And when it does come together in the physical, it's beautiful. So that's why divine feminine, if people are asking you on dates, if people are interested in you, start going on dates. Start doing things that make you happy because your divine counterpart is always going to do what makes them happy, even if it's not choosing you. And I mean, it does make them happy to choose you, but they're afraid of the love and the deep feelings that they have, and they're afraid to be authentic and open up to who they truly are. But you already see it. You see it. You've seen them spiritually from the first day, and you still love them. They lied in your face, and you still love them. They ghosted you, and you still love them the same. Your love never changed. And that's how you know that you're on a divine journey. But do not stay in a place where they're mistreating you, because some of them don't know how to deal with it. They have narcissistic tendencies. So it's when you keep taking care of you until they get themselves together. But if they never get themselves together, you live your life and live a beautiful life. Because if you're on this journey now, you got major stuff to do on the earth. You have your spiritual teachers, your spiritual leaders. And you're here to teach other people about the journey. You're here to teach other people spiritual things. Okay, because most of the people, divine masculine, divine feminine, they're very powerful people, and they're both spiritual teachers. Okay, so you guys be encouraged today. I am Rachel, the Destined One. If you like this content, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. Have a beautiful Saturday. I am the Destined One.